Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we're going to look at these 12 by 42 binoculars by the company Adaison. These have been coming around with me for some of my local events and local activities, getting put to good use, using them in a few different ways to help sort of enhance my experience. Now, overall, very nice binoculars. I've come to enjoy these very much, not just with my eyes, but also using the adapter for my phone and really playing around and trying to get some sort of more enhanced footage with my cell phone. Now what we're going to do, we're going to roll in some footage, not the best, but you can definitely see how I've used this and where it applies. Now the experience between the phone and then my naked eyes, two completely different experiences. So even though the footage might be kind of hit or miss, the experience with my eyes has been fantastic. And then we'll go through these in details. I'll show you the fit and finish, all the kind of little details that you need to know. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Adaison who did provide these for review. And so here you can see getting the Adaison 12 by 42 HD binoculars into some good quality field use. Now in this particular case, using it zoomed out, you can see attaching my cell phone to the binoculars using the adapter. This is what it looks like at one-time zoom and through the binoculars, but without it zoomed in at all. And you can see there's a defined ring, and that's basically because the overall size of the lens of the camera looking through the internals of the binoculars leaves that black ring. Now, generally speaking, you can see it's actually a fairly decent picture overall. The nice thing about this is you're not leveraging digital zoom. It's all optical at this point. So the good thing is you are getting the benefit of the quality of the actual lens in the binoculars in combination with your phone. Now, a number of different images you can see at different lengths and different distances away. It is definitely going to be shaky. It's not easy to follow the action, and it's something that you definitely need to practice and get used to. But in this particular case, you can see overall pretty decent footage, being able to track the action for the most part, and not too bad all things considered. This is definitely something that catches people's attention. I can tell you I had a lot of parents asking me what I was doing. This would actually work very well for still photographs if you have good timing and the ability to leverage your cell phone as a camera. So again, getting the actual optics into use here and doing a fairly nice job. Now on top of that, the focus is kind of hit or miss. The camera does focus as it looks through the lens, so your actual cell phone trying to do some focusing, but at the same time, you kind of need to ride the focus on the binoculars as well. For this particular case, I had the cups on the ocular lens all the way in so that I didn't have any extra space. And you can see a couple of different times I played with this different ways. Now at this point, fully zoomed into the actual frame, this is probably closer to 1.5 or 2 times zoom. And you can see again, doing a decent job with the overall objective lens, doing a nice job to give you that focal length, but the digital zoom now coming a little bit into play. But overall, a pretty good picture and not too bad. Again, tracking on the action, very difficult, and this is fully handheld. Not the cleanest picture, not the most, I would say, precise, but at the same time, you can do it with a little bit of practice. But all in all, for the sports, it is definitely a lot of fast-paced action, and well, the best part is we came out with a victory. Now here you can see turning the corner and getting these binoculars into some additional field use, but now more for the wilderness. I'm out at a beautiful location trying to find myself some birds. If you're into bird watching, these might be a great option for you. At 12 times power with the 42mm objective lens, these are going to do a very nice job with the coatings having a real nice overall clarity and the ability to really get some nice clean definition as you look off into the distance. But getting a quick look at the surroundings, you can see what it actually looks like out with your naked eye. This is without the binoculars, pretty much what you'd see as you're looking off into the vast distance over this marsh. Again, a beautiful area, lots of birds, and when you really look close, you can start to find them. With your naked eye, you're probably not going to see them, but leveraging the 12 by 42 HD binoculars from Adaison, it definitely helps. And so here again, as you can see, looking off in the distance, you start to see a little bit more detail. Now again, keep in mind this is handheld, so it's going to be a little bit shaky. If you had a tripod, it would definitely work a lot better. With a tripod adapter and getting this mounted, this would smooth out a ton. You could really fine-tune your actual focus and get this really dialed in. Now, as I keep saying, through the naked eye, looking through the binoculars, this is a very nice picture. Through the actual cell phone, it's pretty good and it's cool, but it's just not quite as nice. But having the ability to actually get some video, definitely neat. And again, if I was to leverage a tripod, it would be fantastic. And last but not least, finding some birds up in the trees here. You can see, actually not too bad. This bird was probably 40 feet away, so that's a nice overall zoom into the branch. Kind of looking at what the bird's doing, I can tell it had some food in its mouth and in its beak. It was actually probably bringing that back to a nest if I had to guess. And you can see it is pretty curious. It's a cool little bird and definitely neat to get a watch on him. Now here, my final example, bringing this out to the beach. Again, trying to leverage this for some different sort of activities. And as I look way off into the distance, I can see an exposed sandbar with people walking on that sandbar very, very far out. You can see zooming into the picture and really starting to gain an understanding. Now, I probably wouldn't be able to tell exactly who that is, but I can definitely tell who's on the shoreline, who's in the water, and looking at the overall distance away, they are quite far. And here you can see the zoom from my actual cell phone and then backing it off to where we are. You can see that using the 12 by 42 HD binoculars from Adaison definitely worked. So all right guys, there you have it. A look at these Adaison 12 by 42 binoculars. Again, very, very nice. Getting to some good quality use out in the field. Now again, in the intro, you heard me say my experience between using these with my naked eyes and then through the cell phone and the adapter. Two completely different experiences. Again, you saw it. The footage through the cell phone, it's hit or miss. It's actually pretty tight. You can really zoom in pretty far leveraging these. Now, of course, they are a fixed focal length. So when I say zoom in, you're really leveraging the digital zoom on your cell phone to kind of zoom into the optics. But these definitely do give your phone optics a boost. So again, having that 12 times power, really allowing you to dial in a picture far off into the distance and pick up on some detail. And so here, just rolling in some comparable models to give you a little bit of a comparison to see where the Adaison 12 by 42 fall in line. So again, 12 by 42, this is a 12 times magnification, 42 millimeter objective lens. So that kind of gives you a reference for the size here. And well, for another example, these here are a 12 by 50. So again, the same overall, call it sort of focal length, but then again, the 50 millimeter objective lens. And so when you put these side by side, you can see that the Adaison is just a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, and at that gives you just a little bit more ease of carry. Now it definitely changes the overall picture, the overall depth of the picture, and the amount of light that's let into the optic. So the 42 will be a little bit more limited than the 50, but at the same time, a little bit easier to carry, and that's a good thing. Now here you can see these are a 10 by 42. So 10 times power versus the 12 times power. And you can see these are literally almost identical in the overall size. I mean, extremely, extremely close. So depending on what you're trying to do, you can really go either way, but the 12 times 42 obviously is going to allow you to sort of zoom in a little bit closer than the 10 times. So again, depending on what your overall objectives are, you could go either way. But again, with the Adaison, these being the 12 times focal length and the 42 millimeter objective lens. Now, as we look at the construction, these are what are considered to be a roof prism design. You have roof prism and poro prism designs. This here is a roof prism, which makes these a little bit more compact. that is the first thing. Again, just speaking to the overall compact nature of these, very nice. Now again, you might not get the same total quality as you get out of some other optics, but I think that for the money, these are actually very, very nice. I definitely like the grip on the sides here. Nice and positive grip. Some of the more, I'd say, recent binoculars I've looked at have been just a little bit rubbery, a little bit gummy. This is not quite as gummy, but at the same time, just nice little bit of sort of knurling and texture there to allow you to grip onto the sides. Not overly aggressive, but nice enough. Now on the front here, you can see the ability to sort of remove this little cap. You can thread in an adapter that allows you to put this on a tripod. I have not done that. And in fact, Adaison does sell little tripod kits that you can get. Very simple, very basic, but effective. On the back, you can see here, 12 by 42. Now, in terms of the ocular lens, a couple of things worth noting. First and foremost, pretty straightforward. There's not going to be too many surprises. You have your eye cups here, which do allow you to sort of adjust these. It works out well for me, where I tend to have sort of longer eyelashes and I want to buy myself a little bit of space, so that works out very well. And you can see here a few different points of adjustment. So for me, I kind of rock these out, I don't know, maybe close to all the way, but not a big deal. And then just something else, again, worth noting, this does come with the adapter. So you have this adapter here to allow you to connect it to a cell phone, and this attaches here. So you do want to pay close attention to the fact that when you do that, I found that for me, I definitely want this all the way down, and I've kind of held these to the side so that it's a little bit easier to manage. I shoot my phone horizontal, and I want the ability to grip this, so that's worked out very nicely. You do have your diopter adjustment, so this allows you to fine-tune this, make sure that your eyes are equally adjusted, so you can see as you do that. Notice here, this kind of moves in and out, so that's all that's doing, is moving that in and out. And that's going to allow it to fine-tune to make sure that both of your eyes are in perfect adjustment. Here you do have your center focus, so that's going to be your main focus. That's going to dial in both of your eyes together, and then again fine-tuning with the diopter. You have the ability to attach a strap. I personally have not done that. Sometimes I don't necessarily need the strap. I do use the carrying case, which, speaking to that real briefly, very straightforward, very simple. You have the case, opening it up soft on the inside, just not really much in the way of padding, but a simple nylon pouch here. Nicely stitched, no problem. And it does have the ability to slide your cell phone adapter in the front, so that will fit, or other little accessories, and just a real basic carrying strap. And so just a few last details. Adaison does say these are waterproof. So a waterproof construction, I have not tested that. I can't really speak to that, but they do say waterproof. Now the eyepieces are 18 millimeters, and they say this features a 367 by 1,000 yard large field of view. They're calling the prism in this particular unit a BAK4 prism and FMC. So I would think FMC is like fully multi-coated, which it usually is. And they're saying usually applied in professional binoculars to help light transmittance in providing good quality color reproduction. So I do agree that these have a very nice picture, really clear, and they look really nice, especially when you're looking through them with your naked eyes. Now, most of these kits do come with a tripod. Mine did not, so this is without the tripod. But if you look around, you can find these. They do come with a tripod, which I think would be advantageous. Just a real small collapsible tripod would have definitely helped me with some of my footage. But overall, very nice. You can see the lens caps, very simple. The ones on the objective lenses just connected here. So all in all, the Adaison 12 by 42 binoculars, very, very nice. And so again, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Adaison who did provide these for review. Very nice, good quality, and stacked up against the competition, definitely comparable. In fact, maybe just a little bit nicer. I do like these. I like the grip, I like the feel, and I like how quality the image is as I'm looking through them. From what I can tell, everything manufactured nice and tight, no issues, so putting these to good use, I have definitely enjoyed them. And if you enjoyed this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a whole bunch of videos up there, so if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.